Before you continue listening, take one slow, deep breath. Now let your shoulders relax. For just a few moments, set aside the noise of your day, the endless thoughts racing through your mind, and simply be present. Sometimes, the most meaningful messages don't arrive with loud announcements. They arrive quietly, like a whisper to the heart. Today's message isn't about predicting the future. It's about understanding the emotions that can exist beneath the surface of a meaningful connection. Emotions that often remain unspoken. Perhaps someone has entered your life who seems difficult to read. Maybe they've drawn close, only to pull away. Maybe their actions have left you wondering what they're truly feeling. Or perhaps you're the one carrying feelings you've never found the courage to express. Whatever brought you here, allow this message to invite reflection rather than certainty. Because sometimes understanding another person's fears can help us better understand our own. Today, we're exploring 3 life-changing decisions that someone may wrestle with when a connection begins to matter more than they ever expected. These aren't easy decisions. They're not made overnight. They're the kind of questions that keep people awake long after the world has gone quiet. So listen carefully. You may recognize someone you know, or perhaps you'll recognize yourself. Every meaningful relationship begins with one invisible choice. Not the choice to fall in love, not even the choice to spend time together, but the choice to become vulnerable. For many people, this is the hardest decision they'll ever make, because opening your heart is beautiful, but it also feels risky. Think about it. Every person carries invisible stories of friendships that faded, promises that were broken, words that left scars no one else could see, moments of disappointment that quietly taught them to be careful with their emotions. Over time, many people build emotional walls, not because they don't want love, but because they're trying to protect the parts of themselves that were once hurt. From the outside, those walls can look like confidence, independence, even emotional distance. But often, behind those walls is someone who longs to trust again. Someone who wants to believe that not every ending has to be painful. Then someone unexpected enters their life. A conversation feels different. A smile lingers longer than expected. Silence becomes comfortable instead of awkward. They begin noticing little things, the kindness in someone's voice, the way they remember small details, the feeling of being understood without having to explain everything. Slowly, something begins to change. The walls that took years to build no longer feel quite as necessary. But here's where the struggle begins. Their heart whispers, "Maybe it's safe this time." Their fear replies, "What if you're wrong?" This inner conversation can continue for weeks, months, sometimes even years. They ask themselves questions they never say out loud. Can I really trust this person? What if I become emotionally attached? What if I reveal my true self and they decide I'm not enough? Those questions aren't signs that someone doesn't care. Often, they're signs that they care deeply. Because the more someone matters, the more there is to lose. Imagine standing at the edge of a bridge you've never crossed before. You can see something beautiful on the other side, but you can't know exactly what waits for you until you take the first step. That's what emotional vulnerability feels like. It's hope walking hand in hand with uncertainty. Some people cross that bridge quickly. Others pause with every step, not because they're cold, not because they're playing games, but because trust isn't built in dramatic moments. It's built through consistency, through honesty, through small promises that are quietly kept. Sometimes, the greatest act of love isn't saying I love you. Sometimes, it's believing someone won't leave after seeing the real you. If you've ever wondered why someone seems warm one day and distant the next, it may not always be a lack of feelings. Sometimes they're simply trying to decide whether it's safe to lower the walls they've spent years building. And that decision can be one of the most emotional journeys a person ever experiences.